The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.
Well, we're talking about books on The Dating Show this week. Is it a good idea to take a book? Does that look like you're going to be a bit bored by somebody or not? Is it a good idea?
I don't know about taking a book to a date, but I've seen a lot of research that suggests that a lot of people find reading and a love of reading very attractive. So there was one survey that said that well-read men received almost 20% more messages than their peers. So if you do put that you like reading on your profile, you're more likely to get a message from your prospective partners.
Really? Does that sort of... is it any type of book or just generally reading?
Well, there's some books that are seen as definitely more attractive than others. So George Orwell's 1984 is quite a big popular one, apparently, for men. Walter Isaacson's biography of Steve Jobs was another one that was quite popular. But stuff like Harry Potter is not that popular, and World War II novels didn't come out very popular either. And for women, stuff like Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice or Stieg Larsson's The Girl with a Dragon Tattoo were also very popular. So there are some books that do seem to be more interesting than others, I think.
So they seem to work on your online profile and also a good conversation point as well.
Yeah, so a lot of people have a shared interest of stuff like Game of Thrones. So if you both really like Game of Thrones, that is a great conversation starter. You can talk about all your theories about what's going to happen in the series, when the next book's going to come out, that kind of thing.
Okay. Any books to sort of avoid? I suppose you don't want to start talking about erotic books or...
Yeah, well, a lot of men said that 50 Shades of Grey was a no-go for them. They didn't like it if women said that they were a fan of that. And they didn't like the Twilight series either. Women said they didn't like men to put down that they were interested in Harry Potter. And both sexes said that they didn't like listing cookbooks or the Bible.
Do you think people generally read as much today as they did 10 years ago? I mean, there's so much more to do.
I think it can be difficult to find a book that you like because there's so much choice nowadays, whereas perhaps there wasn't so much before. And there's also a lot of book reviews online, so you can sort of get stuck into reading the reviews instead of actually reading the books themselves. But I do think people still like to read. I think there was a survey that said about 93% of people still love to read in the UK, and only 2% of people said that reading or enjoying reading was a boring thing to do.
And I really prefer an actual book rather than a Kindle. And if I really like a book, I tend to keep it.
But then if you're going on holiday, you don't want to be carrying loads of books around with you, do you?
True.
So sometimes, and also with the Kindle, if you're in bed next to someone else, you don't have to have the light on.
Okay.
So it could be worthwhile investing.
You are the
if you don't want to annoy your partner.
You're the font of all knowledge. Brilliant. Okay, well, that's really good research, Danielle. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rod.
The Dating Show, brought to you by olderdatingonline.com.